So the question for today is, what makes the best mixed pickleball team in the world so dominant? Well, I've played them a lot, I've watched a lot of tape, and I've come to the conclusion that these 5 things make the best pickleball team in the world so good. Let's jump into it. In this first point, we're gonna see the first reason of 5 that makes this team so good. These reasons aren't necessarily in ranking order, they're just in the order that I saw as I was breaking down this match. Let's see if you can see it. So in this first point, let's go back to the very beginning. It happens after Ben's drive. So Ben's going to drive it right here, and as he drives it, Leigh is coming over and poaching the third. Anna Bright does a really good job of getting the volley down, but this is something that I've been talking about in all of my recent videos, where the right sider should be aggressive when they can, and the right sider should and can be scary. And if Ben's driving, Leigh is scary on the right side because you know she's gonna poach. And the reason her poaching helped makes this team the #1 team in the world and so dominant is that not a lot of women poach off the man's drive. I'm trying to think, and it's just nobody does it better than Leigh, that's for sure. And not a lot of women do it in general. Not a lot of men do it. So that's one thing that just really takes this team to the next level. Granted, it wasn't successful here, but look, I try and do something dumb and we end up losing the point. It's all good. Or if we go to this next point, we'll see the second reason of what makes this team so good. So I hit the return to Ben. Ben hits one dink to me. Right there. Look at this shot, look at this shot. Look how low I hit this dink. It's going to land around here. That's less than halfway below the net. And look what he does. He goes right at Anna Bright's body / left hip or something. He goes at a very awkward spot at her from a very tough spot at him. I think he can tell that Anna Bright's a little bit off the line, knowing that he doesn't have to be as scared, knowing he doesn't have to be scared of somebody just punching that down. So he's got the margin to hit his spot. He hits a great spot, and he gets a high ball to put the next one away. We'll watch it again in real time. Boom. And it's clinical. It's a clinical point where we don't give them an easy shot and they still win the point. Like that was not an easy ball to hit. That was not an easy point for them to win, and they made it seem very easy. And that's because Ben is very good at attacking the women in mixed doubles. So, and what makes this team so dominant is that if I hit that same shot to Leigh, which I have done, I often pay the price, because if I hit it into her body right here, very often she's ready to lean forward and attack. She's ready to counter very well. So this aspect makes this team so good, is that Ben can attack the girl very well, and Leigh does a really good job of countering, which we'll get to later. This third reason is probably the most important of all of them, and this is probably the one that I find myself struggling with against this team more than any other of these reasons. Let's jump into this point and let's see if you can see it. I mean, as you can see, we're struggling to get in. And I try and move in, but it doesn't really work. So as you had a chance to see this point, but I'll tell you exactly what I'm talking about. So the third reason is their ability to keep their opponents back on defense. When Ben and Leigh are at the net, they do an amazing job of keeping their opponents back and not letting them get in. you'll see I hit an okay serve. Leigh hits a great return, which causes me to hit a high third, and it means we can't get in right away. I want to get in against this team. I don't want to have to stay back, because if we stay back, look, we're just nothing special there. They hit the ball with such pace, placement, and spin that it makes it very hard for us to get in. Anna Bright hit a great dropping shot right here. She had a great shot right here, perfect. And I'm trying to move in. You know, she could have moved in more, but it's tough when you're hitting it across court. She was so far back, and I really want to be in. So I'm in. Ben attacks a ball that's about net level, and since I'm the only one at the net, I'm trying to be a little bit more middle, to be aggressive and to be big to help us get in. And he does a really good job of attacking a tough spot, like my right hip. And I was ready for a forehand, and it was a little awkward, and I missed it. So, perfect point example showing you how this team is so dominant by keeping their opponents back. And it's something I try really hard to do. And teams that get to the net, like Riley and Catherine, they did a really good job that if they were both back in this last tournament where I played them in the semis, if they were both back, they did a really good job of getting to the net and getting out of the defense regardless of the shots we hit. So this point is something that Ben and Leigh did extremely well in this particular match. They don't always do it, but they do it better than a lot of teams. And you can just see right here, I missed the return. I probably shouldn't be missing a return, but look at where this serve lands. It lands like right here. That's a deep serve. It's a good spot too, because it was enough to my backhand where I could run around it, and it wasn't enough to my backhand where I should definitely hit a backhand, so it was a tough spot. I don't think I made the wrong decision. I think I should have just made it, but deep serves are one of the reasons that make this team so good. And I'm gonna add to that, make this kind of a double reason, is deep returns. So the previous point, as I just showed, they hit a very deep return. And if you hit a deep return, that's so important, because then it's tough for your opponents to get in, and then it's easier to keep your opponents back, and all these reasons just kind of bounce off of each other. Let's watch this point. Oh, I got it in slow-mo still. Boom. I mean, you just saw there Lee's ability to attack and poach the third, and then you saw their ability to keep us back and finish the point when we're both back and when we're on defense. Like once we get on defense, like that's tough. We're not winning those points. We're losing those points almost 90% of the time when we get on defense. So right here at the start, let's slow-mo the beginning just because it is pretty interesting. I'm gonna go 0.25. Let's go quicker. Here we go. Look at the low drive. Great drive. Leigh has already decided that she's going to poach. She's standing in the middle of the court. It's tough to go behind her off of a low ball, because if I hit this to the open space right here, all she has to do is take one step, and that's a forehand. So it makes my best chance either here or low here, or just low in general. And I try and go back to Ben. She attacks it. I get a good ball back. I mean, we go from being down in this point to, so Leigh goes from being on the offense with this first shot. I get a good shot, and now she's on the defense. She wasn't expecting it to come back that well. So we should be able to put this ball away. Look at how high it is. But as Anna Bright should, she's giving herself some space to handle Lee's first attack, which causes a really tough shot for Anna, because now she lets it bounce midway into the court off her back foot, and let's see what happens. They keep us back, they win the point. So now, just like that, even though we hit a good shot, they're still in a very aggressive position because they got one of us off the court and back. and then Ben hits 3 really good spots to finish the point. It's just, like that point is what makes them so good. Like aggressive, defensive when needed, and then taking advantage of when we're behind. They did a really good job of the reason number 1, which is Leigh poaching, and reason number 3, which is their ability to keep us back and end the point once we're back. Really deep serve, which is reason number 4. And then a great attack. I mean, Ben's usually not that good on the right, but right there he had a really solid attack because I'm looking to be aggressive in the middle. And if we go back to the beginning of this point, like right again, I mean, Ben hits a great drop, great third, and Leigh is moving, looking for a shot before I even hit it. Before I even hit it, she's decided that she's gonna poach, and she's poaching. But like I said, my best option is to kind of get it low. I did that, and I think at this position, right now we're in a very good spot. Ben's on his uncomfortable side. He's much better on the left. Like we should be winning this point a lot. That's just a good attack. I don't hit the best shot, and it's just they do a really good job of making teams look bad, and that's what they did to us today. Like we look bad right now. The scoreline looks bad. We're down 7-2. This is 8-2 now, and we're not getting anywhere, and that's tough. Like I mean, it's the best pickleball team in the world. Anna Bright and I are the 2 seeds in this tournament. We should be the second best team in this tournament, and we're not acting like the second best team. I think we're at 9-2, and we've already seen 4 examples of the number 1 reason, reason number 1 that makes this team so good, which is Leig's poach. And once again, that's a great way to combat it. Anna Bright just did a flawless job. As you can see, Ben hits a semi-okay drive. Leigh has a lot of confidence in her poaches because I think 3 for 3 off points, even though she hasn't put one away, there's still 3 for 3 out of winning those points. So even if she's poaching and she's not putting away the poach, that dynamic, like that chaos and that aggression is still winning the points for them. But here we go. Great job. I mean, Leigh commits as she can because Ben's gonna cover behind her already. Anna Bright gets it down and we combat it. And I'm just showing this to show you guys how to combat the strategy of your opponent crashing you. If they're crashing, you want to get the ball down. Going to the open space is very tough if you are hitting a low ball. Because if you're hitting a low ball, that means you need to hit it up. So it doesn't matter where you hit it. If it's going up and somebody's standing in the middle of the court, there's a decent chance that they can hit the ball with 1 step because the court is not big. Okay, let's watch this point. I mean, look at that. From the very start, not the best return. It was okay. I think I hit a really solid drive here. I hit it, but not a ton of pace. It gets low. What Ben does awesome is look, he just barely hits it, and look at where that lands. That lands right here. So I hit a good first ball, and I'm hitting my next ball behind the line. Like, that's tough. What we need to do is I need to hit that and move forward. So I hit this shot and I just stand there just watching. Like I hit this and I'm just standing. I'm like, oh, what's gonna happen? If I hit that shot, I should realize that's a good shot, Christian, and I should take 1-2 steps forward so that I can counter the next, so that I can hit this next ball. Imagine if I took 2 steps forward. Imagine if I took 2 steps forward, I would be 1, 2, I would be right here. I would be able to hit that ball right now. But I hit it and I just watched. And that was lack of anticipation, maybe a little nerves, maybe just not playing our best. I mean, we're down 10-3. But if I move in, I can reset that in the air, and then now I'm at the kitchen rather than just completely missing. Like, what am I think I knew that. I think I realized everything I was just saying, I think I kind of realized as that was happening, upset at myself for letting myself get pushed back so much off of a high fourth volley. So I do a lot of match analysis on matches I win, and I will do match analysis. I will do match breakdowns on matches I've lost. As you can tell, they're not as fun for me. I much rather analyze and break down why I win, but it's so important. It's so important to see why you lose. And even just like, I've already watched this match a couple times. I watched it once just for the sake of it. I watched it again to take notes on it, and now I'm watching it for a third time. And this third time, I'm realizing even more, and that you can learn a lot more from what you're doing wrong than what you're doing right. Let's just put it that way. But you also want to watch yourself do things right, because it builds confidence, and it ensures that you're doing the right thing. Ensures yeah. Okay, so here we are, started the second game. We got routined in the first game, 11-3. It's embarrassing. It's an embarrassing scoreline to lose 11-3. And here we go. It's 1-1 in the second. Trying to find some energy, and I mean, look at this serve. Like, they get a free miss. I mentioned deep serves. They're so important, and that serve landed like an inch within the line. Usually, only the guy goes for the serve. I don't know many girls who go for their serve. I think Leigh Jansen does. A lot of the singles players will go for their serves. A lot of the female singles players. Catherine hits a pretty big serve. She can. But Anna Leigh hits, a bigger serve than anyone, than any female. And that makes this team so tough. I mean, and it's so tough to handle deep serves. Let's just watch the next point. It's a semi-deep serve. I had a good return. You can see Anna Leigh once again looking to poach, but the thing is, Ben's third was a little high, and if the third is high, it's really hard to poach, because I was able to get that down and then hit a pretty cool bird. So there's not many points we win. Okay, and then here's the next point after. Ben misses that serve by like an inch or two, and just look at where he's aiming. Look at where he's aiming. Boom, back corner. If he makes that serve, like the short return that you get, it's so worth it. It's so worth it to hit a big serve to get a short return. So I know that I said I'm going to include deep returns with reason number 4, which was deep serves, but I think deep returns is actually more included in reason number 3, which is the ability to keep your opponent back. And the reason I say this is because if you can hit a deep return, then you're keeping your opponent from getting to the net, and it's the ability to keep them on the defense and to keep them back. That's exactly what they do. I'm going for my serve. I hit my serve deep, like I'm doing what I'm trying to do. And look at that serve, it lands super deep. I don't hit the best shot, but that's because I'm expecting a short return, and I get a deep return. I'm hitting the third off my back foot, and right then I think we move in more than we should off of a not great third. Boom. Look, and it's crazy because the point before I hit a good third and I didn't move in. And now I hit not the best third and I move in. And it's just their ability. It's Ben's ability when we're both on defense to pick the perfect spot. Because that was the perfect spot. Like, I'm ready for the ball to go behind me. So is Anna Bright. And we're both kind of ready for the middle, which means neither of us are ready for the middle. Good job. Let's watch the next point. We're gonna see another deep return. Look at that return. Look at that return. It's like within 2 feet of the line. I think Ben and Anna Leigh played extremely well this match. They're not always going to play this well, but when they played this well, the scoreline shows it. Like, we get destroyed in this match. I played Ben and Anna Leigh, I think 8 times this year, and half of them I've split. So half of them I've lost in 3, and the other half 2 of them have been in the finals where, you know, they're very comfortable in the finals. They've played hundreds, at least 100 finals. I've played like 6 or 5. I've played like a few singles. I played like 6 or 7 finals in all my time. And only 2 of those were mixed doubles finals. They were both against them. So they've got the experience advantage, and it shows. It shows. Such a deep return. It's hard for me to do anything off such a deep return. And I try to move in. I try and hit a good shot. And once again, there's miscommunication in the middle. Like, neither one of us are super assertive with this. She was just gonna reset it. I don't think I hit a terrible shot, but I didn't hit a good shot. Just not good pickleball. We're just not getting to the kitchen line. I mean, I know I'm picking a select few points, but just so far, we're just not getting in and having dink points. And the dink points we have had, we've lost to their aggression. Let's watch this point as well. You can tell that was a deep serve, which gets a short return. And here is another successful moment of Leigh poaching. And I'm such an advocate of the right side player poaching. This team is so good because they play like one of the best men's doubles team. Like, they play like how I would play a men's doubles team, which is the left person takes over when they're both at the net. But other than that, the right side player is being aggressive on the thirds and the fourths and speeding up, and you're basically playing like a top men's doubles team when you play this team. So you can tell this serve's deep. I hit a bad return, probably because I'm unwinding, which makes it a little bit harder. Ben hits a good drive, and I know I need to hit a good shot because if I don't, I'm going to face the pressure that Leigh gives by poaching. And for that, I try and go behind her because I think that she's going to be going here, and they get a free miss off of the pressure of having a player 10 feet from you. And I'm hitting a tough ball. So I just mentioned this, and here we're going to see reason number 5. So they're serving. We get to the kitchen. Ben's hitting a lot of two-handed backhand dinks because he's comfortable. And boom, like, look at that. This is one of the few points we've had. We've been dinking. There's probably been 5 points so far that we've gotten to dink rally, and we've only gave them 3 dinks so far, maybe 4. And the second Leigh gets a wide ball, it's exactly what I would do on the right. Is she attacks down the line. I'm late. Like, why am I late? I'm getting upset right now. But I think Anna hits a good dink. I should be ready for this. I think I'm more ready for the middle since Anna Bright was pushed off the court. You can see I'm a little behind, and just with routine ability, puts the next one away in the middle. We can watch it in real time. This is very embarrassing for me. But real quick, just to show, because we're a game and 5-1 into this match, and that's only the second time that Leigh has attacked me, and she loves to attack the men. So, I mean, I know that. So what you can do to combat this, let me go back to an early point. Here's one of the first points of the match. We're switching sides. Boom. We win this point. So it's one of the dink rallies we had early on. There were not a lot of dink rallies, but the way you shut down somebody attacking is here. I'm ready for the attack. This is like the 4th point of the match. She hits a great attack, and I'm able to get the ball down. And even though I get the ball down, it doesn't matter because she's able to just hit an equally solid shot that we barely get back, goes for a dumb lob, and we win the point. And because of that, it took another game and a few points for another attack to happen. So here's another point. Let's see if you can see it. It's a mix of deep returns. It's a mix of deep serves from them and weak returns for us. Our return landed a couple feet from the kitchen, and we're just behind. And I do a good job of covering AB here. Like, I'm covering her because I know she's far back. But even though I cover her well, she's still many feet behind the kitchen line, which means Ben can just hit it to her with no fear of it coming back hard because she's far back. And then once we're on the defense, we again lose the point. Let's watch this point. So I'm getting a little upset right now, just like with like how much we're losing, 11-3, 11-1, but I'm gonna try and keep a smile on my face because I get to play pickleball for a living, and that's awesome. Before this point, I mean, if you're watching this video, help me out, subscribe to the channel. I'm out here showing you the toughest, I'm out here giving you like the toughest and not like breakdowns that I could give you. This is one of the matches that hurt the most all year, and I'm here, you know, watching it, putting myself through the pain just because I know it's gonna make me stronger. And, you know, subscribe to the channel. Also, I give away 1 free paddle to somebody who subscribes to the YouTube channel and the newsletter. I have a newsletter. I send it out every week after I have a newsletter. So make sure you subscribe to that for inside info. I usually include the latest content that's been out there and behind the scenes, tips, all that stuff. So it's awesome. Thank you for making it this far. If you want to see how we lose the whole match, you can stay. So look at this point. I already started it, but from the very beginning, I think I hit a pretty good drop here, and I corrected my last mistake because I see that it's going to be a good drop, and I just move in. I'm like, I'm going in, but this has happened over and over again. All Ben has to do is hit it soft to the middle of the court, and look where Anna Bright's hitting this third. He hits a perfect position. Ben hits a perfect spot to make it right at Anna's feet, to make it bounce so that she lets it bounce, and she's now hitting it really far back. It's hard to hit a good shot. She hits a decent third, but now she's back and then pops that one up. And we're losing this point. I mean, we're trying to recover. I just hit one of the worst. It's just, there wasn't great communication. See, I hit a really bad third, and she's moving in here, whereas the first shot I hit was a really good third, and she stayed back. And I mean, it's tough because, you know, I hit a good third, my partner's like, all right, he hits good thirds, I'm gonna move in. And then I hit a bad third, or a bad drop, and now she's like, oh, I'm gonna stay back and see if it's a good drop. But if we stay back, we shouldn't be staying back. We should be doing this. We should be moving in. She does a good job letting me take that. I miss it. Boo-hoo. All right, here's a cool point that we're gonna watch just because it's a cool point. So I get it down, we move in, or we get in. And what we wanna do is be getting in here. Like that's the plan. It's one of the few dink points we have. I'm a little frantic. I mean, I don't know if I should have taken that ball. Great lob from Anna Bright. Tweener from Anna Leigh. I don't want to lose a point. I don't want to lose the point after I hit the tweener. Once again, they get in and they attack. She attacks again. I know the attack's coming, but I make it. I was hyped to win a point in 3-6. Great lob. Cool tweener. Anna Leigh got 2 dead dinks in this point. She got 2 bounced, deadish dinks and dinks that bounce, and she attacked both of them. And she attacks and she's aggressive when she's aggressive. And yeah, and I mean that's reason number 5 is just her ability to be aggressive. So, I mean, as you can see, 1 dink, a dead dink, she attacks. And I mean, I think I hit a good shot, but she attacks and she's moving in so that it's hard for me to get the next ball down. And they're in a good position here. We're barely in it. And then she attacked another dead dink. It's just the ability to attack and create chaos, which makes this team so good. But they both have a couple years experience on me, so I'm going to keep that in mind, and I'm going to work and make the most of my time. All right, here we go. Match point. Probably one of my quicker match breakdowns. I just miss a shot. And I mean, look at that scoreline, 11-3, 11-1, 11-4. It's too soon. It's too soon for me to laugh about it. I'm gonna try and smile so I don't look upset, and that just, nobody likes somebody who looks upset. But that hurts. That hurts to watch it. As a bonus reason for what makes this team so good is the lack of free points that they give you. There are very, very few free points from the most dominant mixed team in the world. And I mean, those lack of free points, that's what makes them so good. Anna Bright and I, we had a lot of free points that we just gave them. So I mean, it would have taken a lot more to win this match, but I was happy to make it to the finals. If you didn't check it out, the last video that I just posted was in the finals at this tournament, Bristol PPA. Kwang Duong and I beat Ben and Colin Johns in the finals. That was an awesome match. So make sure to check that out, and make sure to stay tuned next week because we're gonna have another match breakdown. We're gonna have another match breakdown, and this one's going to be Riley Newman and I playing Ben and Colin Johns in the in the quarters of the Vegas PPA. That match was electric. I can't wait to break it down and show you guys what happened, what I learned from it. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. Subscribe to the newsletter and be in touch. Thank you. Bye.